Is there things happening in the background?
All right, welcome. So this is the fourth interview today of a finalist for the Small Business of the Year Award. I'm Brian Otten. I'm the marketing director over at the Chamber of Commerce, and I'm joined. I took the trip north, just north of Merrill, to In the Lite Electric, and I'm joined by Dan and Sasha from In the Lite. Dan and Sasha, thanks for making some time to sit down and chat.
Absolutely.
And congratulations on being named a finalist.
Thank you.
Before we get too far, tell me a little bit about In the Lite, what it is that you do, what your history, for anybody out there that maybe isn't familiar.
Sure. In the Lite is a full service electrical contractor. That was where we started 24 years ago on that. I've been doing electrical for 38, whatever, long time. All right. But then back in 2000, started moving out on our own, started electrical. And the thing that I saw back then was the need for not just a full service electrical, but to go where the technology was going. And back then it was much simpler than is now. But even back then, people were starting with, how do I do this and how do I do that? And you're having an electrical contractor, and then you're having an automations contractor, and then you're having a lighting contractor, and then you're having a shades contractor and stuff like this. And I really seen the need to pull that all together, and that's what we've endeavored to do.
Yeah, so about 5 years ago is when we actually opened ITL Automations, which is a separate division of the company. So we still do all of the electrical contracting work, but we also have a home automation and automations division of the company.
Cool. And so if you've driven by the depot since December, you've seen In the Lite's work. So in I think early December, out in the cold and the snow and the wind, we had your guys out there installing Everlight's display in our awning, and from my phone I can control the display. We can set it up on a calendar, a timer, any combination of colors. We can almost like animate it by chasing colors around the building. I think it looks great. You obviously have sort of embraced innovative products like that over the years, and you just mentioned it's come a long ways. Tell me a little bit about, I guess, what, if you can, and this is going off script a little bit, but I want to hear what's the next cool thing that you think is coming, or that you're excited about making available to your customers.
Well, it's the capability of overseeing everything in your house and bringing that together. We're starting a project. I was just up there this morning in Minocqua, and we're starting off now even where we're offering and installing an on-site camera where the owner can pick up. They're not from up there; they're from the south. He can pick it up every day. Look at what's the progress. Who's on site? Who's working today? How does my house, oh, look what they got the bedroom built. Stuff like this. Simple things like that, into where your house is also going to alert you. You don't have to wait for, you to check on things. With even the smoke detectors that we install now, it will alert not only to your phone, it can tell you, is this something serious? Is it not? Do we need to shut off the water? Turn on the water? Things like this. Do we need to monitor what's being consumed on this? There's an issue with the generator. I get an alert on here. So my backup system, and everybody knows what just happened around here with, I think they finally get everybody with 56,000 plus that were without power for extended period. Just down the road here, we had folks without power for several weeks, several days, excuse me. But that alerting to this, and then being able to turn not only your lights on and your Everlights on, or this, or monitor your heat, but to be able to actually turn certain areas of your house on or off electrically in the panel. So I can shut off circuit 38 on this. I know circuit 38 is my refrigerator. Something's gone wrong, with this. Or it's tripped. Why is it tripped? We need something to correct this. So
it's really giving you greater control so that whether you're at work, whether you're on vacation, wherever you are in the world, you're able to be in control of what's happening at your home.
Very cool. Very cool. So one of the pieces of this process in terms of the Small Business of the Year awards, you were nominated, then you're asked to complete an application. The application forces you to kind of look at, again, where you started, where you are now. When you went through that process, did anything kind of jump out at you? And maybe it's something you hadn't remembered, from 10 years ago, 15 years ago. So it's something that kind of presented itself as you were going through that.
Yeah, well, I think for me, it was just looking at the evolution of the company and how much we've grown. I mean, when the company started, it was Dan and his wife in their house, in the little, office in their home.
We had 10 by 8 rooms that was her office and my office.
Right.
And then when we wanted to talk to each other, we'd have to get up, walk around, and walk back and forth.
And you had no room for hermit crabs.
No. We didn't have room for anything.
No
you
office
stepped
pets
outside
at
to
that,
change your
right?
mind and then walk back in. But, despise not humble beginnings. I mean, that's where it was. But we had the, and looking back, and like Sasha was saying, looking back, that was, if you keep the same type of attitude, we've grown immensely, and we're blessed. I mean, there's no doubt about that with what we have in the office and now the shop and now 10 people on 12.
Yes.
Dear Lord. Yeah. It's incredible. I would have had a dream back then, didn't realize where the dream was going to fully go. But what Sasha says, you look back, it's good to reflect on that, because you can appreciate what you have, but don't lose that hunger. Yeah. Because if you stop moving forward, you're going to start going backwards. And that's the same thing, to your previous question, what's going on with technology and what you're embracing. It's constant. The lighting that we put into the house, that's only 7 years ago, is already, if you will, outdated.
Sure.
In the sense that now the stuff that's coming along is incredible on what you can do. We now have the ability that we can install lighting that will sync up, and it will understand. It's called Ketra. It's with our Lutron system that will mimic. Let's say you have an office in the basement, and you want to mimic what's going on outside. The lights can be tied in so that the lumen output and the Kelvin output will match that of the sun.
Sure.
So your body, people get in and they're all whatever because they're out of the daylight. This will mimic that.
Sure.
So as it comes up in the morning, it'll warm. The lights will actually warm, and it'll follow that through just throughout the day, throughout the time clock on that.
Cool.
It is. It's phenomenal. For paintings, for higher end, some folks have some very nice artwork. You have a sensor, or we do, that goes onto that. It will read the colors that are on there, and the lighting will optimize to bring out those colors. It's incredible what can be done from just, a simple light here to something that can enhance your mood, enhance your life, enhance the products that you're looking to highlight, paintings. Or
sure. We'll have to get the Louvre as one of your.
There you go.
Your clients.
Yeah, they have some pretty cool stuff.
Yes, we will. I'll take that. I volunteer.
Yeah.
You mentioned the hunger to sort of grow and succeed. One of your hungers, and I know this because I've seen this firsthand. You love a good project.
Yeah.
You love something kind of different, unique. Tell me, looking back over the years, what's your favorite kind of one-off project that you got brought into and you got done with it and you're like, man, that's cool. I'm glad I got to work on that. I'm putting you on the spot.
You're putting me on the spot on that, but and I'll narrow it down. But I the folks in the office, Brittany, Justin, and the other managers on this, they're scared when I go out to the job because I'll come back and it's like, what are you gonna do? How are you gonna do that? I don't know yet, but we're gonna do it.
But I also think that's the reason why we've grown so much, is because at the leadership we're always looking for new ways and always trying to move forward. But.
Well, and I'm gonna even with what we're doing for you guys,
Yep.
down there, when y'all ask us to do somehow make the train light. I mean, a simple thing, you know, we want to just light up this train intersection sign, and that's not good enough for me. You know, I mean, it's like, how can we get sound to go into this? And I encourage you all in a month or whenever it is, it's finally up, to stop at the chamber and look. But we're going to have the light up, and they're going to have sound integration and a light, and it's going to be cool. But how we can do this to make it one step better. And that's when we go into residential applications, you know, walking through. I'll throw everything out to you, you know, let you say no. I don't want you to come back in, you know, 6 days, 6 months, 6 years and say, you know, well, Frank has this, you know, well, I knew about that, but I didn't, you know. I'm going to let you say no to that and all these things like this. But I would think that some of the things, even simpler things, but still tasks were people with removable docks up north.
Sure.
They want the power out there for their lifts and flip switch. Well, you know, water and electricity are things that you try to keep separate a little bit, you know. But just in the way, innovative ways we've come up to resolve their issues with that. Simple thing. We had folks up north that they wanted a light down on the dock, okay, which was several hundred feet away. Okay, big thing, it's a light on the dock. But I said, well, how about, you know, you always want to be able to see when you go on there and stuff like this. So we end up putting some pathway lighting up this with a remote light control. Well, we gave him a fob that he would be able to take with him out on the boat, so as he was coming to shore, he would be able to turn on the light, and, you know, how cool is that? Well, this went on for a summer, and I was up there like a year later and found out that it caused quite a stir, because when the wife would want him to come in, she would hit the button and turn on the light, and he would turn it off. So the neighbors knew
They're
fighting on this. Come in. No, I'm not coming in
what
yet.
you started, right?
You know, just those little things like that to solving people's. One of the ways is hot tubs. Hot tubs require a disconnecting means. So if you're sitting in there and you're being sucked to the bottom by this extreme force, which is kind of humorous, but something happens and you need to disconnect the power, you have to have this disconnecting means. Well, a lot of these folks are putting hot tubs in they're building very nice areas, or they're inside, stuff like this, and you don't want this god-awful looking box sitting there that you have to do. So we've come up with some very unique ways with low voltage wiring and interconnections that we can put a simple switch on the wall. Looks like a light switch, looks very nondescript, you know, very discreet. And it's been a very nice solution to something, making things look attractive on this with that. So, you know, we've tied it in then to where if they're hot tubs, we've put in detectors. So if you're the breaker trips on the hot tub or something happens, Gary gets an alert on his phone. Hot tub temperature is now down to, you know, 65. You want to take a look because you don't want your hot tub freezing up. So those little things like that. We've never said, you know, no. It's caused some, you know, loss of hair, but we figure out that's the fun part of it. Yeah.
Well, before we wrap up, tell me who particularly you'd like to kind of give a shout out to somebody that's helped you kind of elevate your business to where it is now over the years.
Well, my family, first and foremost. I mean, this has been a labor of love and whatever. I mean, my wife for putting up with everything that it's, I mean, and anybody in small business knows the sacrifice that's involved in this. So my daughter being able to come on and help us out. But in the years gone past, I mean, from I guess the attitudes and everything that I have and the desire and stuff like this, my father, who passed away last year, you know, for him, my father-in-law, who passed away a year and a half ago, he was an electrician. He got me into the trade on this. Probably because he didn't want to see his daughter starve. You know? So, you know, you bring home a long-haired bartender, maybe you can, you know, get him to do something else.
Sure.
And I have a shout out to Larry Meyer, who I think, you know, and stuff like this. He was an individual that inspired a lot. Jim Kramer, a few of these gentlemen who've really helped me and helped this company get to where it's at in this, just by their mentorship and just not being afraid to speak into your life and let you know, hey, you're maybe a little to the left, a little to the right here, which we all need on that. So,
and I think I would also just like to give a shout out to the employees. I'm the one who gets the customer feedback and watches the reviews, and man, just the amazing things that are said about all of our employees. And this is the biggest team we've ever had, and definitely wouldn't be here without them.
Without those guys, I'd have to do everything, and that just wouldn't work. Yeah. So
cool. Great. Well, this is a great conversation. I appreciate the time. So for those of you that are watching that haven't heard during the other interviews, we're going to announce the 2 Small Business of the Year Award recipients at the Expo. We will live stream a program at 10 a.m. that morning. Channel 9 is going to help with that, and Brad Hansen from Channel 9 is going to be the MC. And we've got a special row assigned at the Expo called Finalist Row. Be sure that when the Expo opens to the public from noon to 5, we'll already have named the 2 recipients, but be sure to visit that row, visit the other finalists that are sprinkled throughout the Expo, and congratulate them. It's a big honor just to be named as a finalist, and it's obviously we're going to have 2 recipients that are really going to have a great day too. So thanks for watching. We'll come back with I believe 3 more tomorrow and 2 more on Monday, and then we'll be through all the finalists. So if you happen to miss any of them, they're all available on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ryan.